Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike seems to be a man who loves courting controversy. Last Thursday, he counted a fresh round of controversy when he formally restored the benefits and entitlements of Celestine Omehia as a former governor of the state. Now, in case you don't know him, Celestine Omehia was sworn in as the governor of Rivers State on May 29, 2007, but was later sacked and replaced by Rotimi Amechi on October 25, 2007 by the Supreme Court. The Apex Court had ruled that Omehia was not the candidate of the PDP in the 2007 governorship election and should not have been sworn in as governor. According to the court, Omehia was never a governor in the eyes of the law. Now, things had remained that way until now. Wike, in recognizing Omehia as a former governor of the state, personally returned his official portrait to where the photographs of other past chief executives of the state were placed at the government house in Port Harcourt. He also accorded Omehia all the rights, privileges, and benefits of a former governor of the state. So joining me now to react to this is G.T. Ogunye, who is a constitutional lawyer. Mr. Ogunye, thank you very much for joining us on the program. But let me start by asking you what your take is on this. Is Governor Wike breaching any law at all? Is he in contempt of the decision of the Supreme Court?
Obviously, I want to believe that the action of Governor Nyesom Wike is in contempt of the decision of the Supreme Court. In the case of Amechi and INEC, reported in a Nigerian Weekly Law Report, part 1080 of 2007. In that decision, the Supreme Court was very clear that in the election of 2007 in Rivers State, the governorship election, that Celestine Omehia, who was the candidate, was in the eye of the law, that is the jury, not the candidate on the ballot. And that Mr. Rotimi Amechi, who was shunted out, was indeed the candidate of the PDP in the eye of the law. And that he must be presumed to have contested and won that election. Now, the implication of that was that although Governor Rotimi Amechi was sworn in on October 26, 2007, the period in which Celestine Omehia was governor was the jury, as a matter of law, cancelled, annulled, so to speak. And so, by virtue of that judgment, he was never recognized as a governor. And that's why it made good sense and good law for Governor Rotimi Amechi to stand for a re-election in 2011 and was sworn in for the second term on 29th of May 2011, meaning that regardless of the fact that he was sworn in on 26th October 2007 for his first tenure, and regardless of the decision of the Supreme Court in Obi and INEC, part 1046, Nigerian Weekly Law Report, 2006, which held that the term of a governor will commence from the date he was sworn in, because Rotimi Amechi was regarded as being the person who had won the election, indeed who had contested, won the election, and who had been sworn in the eye of the law from that 29th of May 2007. He had to stand for a election in 2011 without waiting for 4 years to be complete. Now, hoisting a photograph and not ending the drama there and declaring that Celestine Omehia is being restored, all his privileges, are being restored and all that, is going too far. And for me, that's contemptuous of the decision of the Supreme Court. Now, by way of elaboration, there are three, and I know that Nigerian politics is a phenomenon of high drama, high mischief, and high subterfuge. And I know that to build political capital, build allies, even amongst erstwhile enemies and political foes. Things like these shenanigans and chicanery will continue to play out. But let's say that the three categories of people, as governors or as public office holders, that we can discuss whether indeed their privileges could be restored the way Governor Wike has done. And this three are an impeached governor. An impeached governor will not lose the privileges of being an ex-governor, except the impeachment protocols and declaration and what have you declare this so. And this may be challenged in court. Because until and unless he's impeached, a governor will remain a governor. That means under the Constitution, regardless of the impeachment, the governor will be regarded as an ex-governor of that state. And so he might properly be able to draw on it, except he's sanctioned under the impeachment protocols. And then he's made to forfeit those privileges. The second category is the category of a governor that was given a certificate of return by INEC, but whose election was later annulled. For example, Governor Ngige. For example, Governor Oni. That's the second category, meaning that until the election was annulled, they remain a governor. And that's why I guess that although that was another political grandstanding of high drama, the restoration of the privileges of the governor of former governor of Ekiti State, talking about Segun Oni, by Ayodele Fayose, could not be faulted. Why? Because once a certificate of return is given, regardless of the fact that that governor's election is later annulled, by virtue of the fact that the Electoral Act says that until that person who has been declared the winner and who has been given a certificate of return had his election cancelled, vacated, he remained a governor. So the jury, you can say that, yes, those who fall in this category could be referred to as ex-governor. Now, the third category is the Celestine Omehia category. A person that the court of law had made a pronouncement on saying, indeed, we didn't know you. You are a usurper. You ought not to have been on the ballot. You shouldn't have been on the ballot. And we are going to issue a kind of mandatory injunction against you to annul everything that was done, purportedly having your name on the ballot. And that's what the Supreme Court did, meaning that in the eye of the law, he was never recognized as a governor. As a governor. Now, yes, now doing this in a clear undermining of the Supreme Court decision, for me, is very provocative. And so if the governor of Rivers State wants to build allies, wants new friends and all that, things like this do him no good. And in particular, that photograph that has been trending since he did that, of he himself as a governor standing on a table or a chair and hoisting a photograph. I mean,
it's quite indecorous, no doubt.
It's indecorous and despicable. And in fact, it lowers the office of a governor because it doesn't make, pardon me, I can't see the sense that kind
there
of
you
drama
can, we can even see the governor now climbing the seat and hoisting the photograph.
No, it doesn't. In fact, it just shows that the drama that play out in the violent drama, you say, on the floor of Rivers State House of Assembly, is a kind of character profile. If you recall that there are certain dramatic personnel, that drove those crises throughout in Rivers State. When a governor will stand up, and before you know, maybe a governor would even be throwing punches. Legislators are throwing punches. So this governor may say that, what's wrong with this? I've just hoisted a portrait. What of the legislators who are throwing punches and pulling, throwing chairs and all that? So this is not what we need to see in government. Because people may say that, no, the substance matters. Let's go for essence. Form doesn't matter. Look, in governance, form sometimes is as important as the substance. A governor should have a courage. And that's why I say that, yes, you should act gubernatorially. You should act presidentially. So when you see a governor do this kind of thing, doing this kind of thing,
Right.
it leaves one to wonder whether we need to be conducting induction courses, training courses for those who go to political. I'm saying this. Those who employ people will train them, but we don't train our politicians believing that they are mature. That is a presumption that has not been validated by our historical realities. You just elect somebody. Where did you train him? You didn't even vet him. You have an election, and then in that electoral process, it's assumed that the electorate knows what it's doing. Now, as we've seen, it's not always the case. And action like this, actually tell us that maybe our electorate should be looking harder, at those options that they have in every election year to determine the kind of choice they will make.